People always say, be careful what you put on the internet. You never know who might see it. Usually this advice is disregarded, but have you ever really thought about who could see your Snapchat stories, Instagram, Facebook posts, read your text messages? Well, today I'm going to talk to you about a government agency that has complete access to everything you do online. The NSA, or the National Security Agency, is an intelligence agency under the U.S. Department of Defense. They are responsible for global monitoring, collection, and processing of information for intelligence and counterintelligence purposes. In 2013, a man named Edward Snowden leaked highly classified information from the NSA while working as a CIA employee and subcontractor. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the NSA, Edward Snowden, and how national security policy changed after Snowden. So firstly, like I said, the NSA is an intelligence agency under the Department of Defense. They are also in charge of protecting United States communications networks and information systems. The NSA can be traced back to as far as April 28, 1917. 3 weeks after Congress declared war on Germany in World War I. A special unit was created and called the Cable and Telegraph Section, also known as the Cipher Bureau. The Cipher Bureau was highly clandestine and were headquartered in Washington, D.C. under the executive branch without any direct congressional authorization. After the war was over, the Cipher Bureau was supposed to be disbanded, but the Army partnered with the State Department and disguised the Cipher Bureau as a New York City commercial code company. Eventually, the Secretary of State, Henry L. Stimson, in 1929 shut down the Cipher Bureau, saying, "Gentlemen do not read each other's mail." Then later on during World War II, the Signal Intelligence Service was created to intercept and decipher Axis powers communications. The SIS went through many different name changes in its time. It went from Signal Intelligence Service to Army Security Agency to Armed Forces Security Agency, then finally to National Security Agency. The president at the time, Harry Truman, kept the creation of the NSA highly classified. Only high-ranking officials within the U.S. intelligence community knew anything about it. Due to its super secrecy and the public not having any knowledge of its existence, the intelligence community began calling the NSA the no such agency. The NSA has always kept a very high level of secrecy, to the point where most civilians aren't even sure what the NSA does. And this all changed due to a man named Edward Snowden. Edward Snowden was born on June 21, 1983, to a family with a long line of government employees. His maternal grandfather was a senior official for the FBI, his father was a Coast Guard officer, his mother is a clerk for the U.S. District Court for the District of Maryland, and his sister is a lawyer for the Federal Judicial Court. In high school, Snowden got mononucleosis, causing him to miss 9 months of high school. Instead of going back to school, he just passed the GED test and took a few classes through a community college. Snowden ended up enlisting in the Army and became a Special Forces candidate, but he never completed his training after a training incident and breaking both of his legs, so he was discharged. Snowden attended a job fair focused on intelligence agencies, and although not having any undergraduate education, he accepted a job offer from the CIA at the Global Communications Division at CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia. In May 2006, Snowden wrote in Ars Technica that he had no trouble finding work because he was a computer wizard. After distinguishing himself as a junior employee on the top computer team, Snowden was sent to the CIA's Secret School for Technology Specialists. Snowden was stationed at many different places during his time with the CIA. He was stationed in Geneva, Switzerland, then Yokota Air Base near Tokyo, and finally he was assigned in Hawaii, where he consulted with a company called Booz Allen Hamilton. Snowden says in his 2019 memoir titled Permanent Record that his job was to sit down with the heads of the technical divisions of the CIA in order to design and sell the solution to any problem they could imagine. Snowden and his team helped the agency build a new type of computing architecture, a cloud, the first technology that enabled every agent, no matter their location, to access and search any data they needed. Snowden states in his memoir, "I sat at a terminal from which I had practically unlimited access to the communications of nearly every man, woman, and child on Earth who'd ever dialed a phone or touched a computer. Among these people are about 320 million of my fellow American citizens, who in the regular conduct of their everyday lives were being surveilled in gross contravention of not just the Constitution of the United States, but the basic values of any free society." What Snowden saw disturbed him so much so that he decided to do a dangerous thing, tell the truth. According to Bob Toxin in his 2014 article titled "The NSA and Snowden, Securing the All-Seeing Eye," Snowden copied up to 1.7 million top-secret documents and smuggling them on a thumb drive out of a secure facility in which he worked, and then released many of these documents to the press. The NSA estimates that only about 200,000 of the 1.7 million documents were actually released to the press. Snowden, after releasing these documents, fled to Russia, where he has been granted temporary asylum until 2020. He has stated in many interviews that he would be willing to return to the United States only if the government will guarantee him a free trial, which they haven't. One fact in particular that disturbed Snowden was that the NSA collects more data on America than Russia or China. Snowden also found out about many programs that collected data about Google searches, Facebook and Instagram posts and messages, Skype calls, phone calls, and the like. There were also programs that acted like a Google search engine, except instead of bringing up websites and articles, it brought up your text messages, your recorded phone calls, and things like that. The release of the Snowden files caused an uproar among American citizens, government officials of the US and other countries. These files brought much change to the intelligence community. There was much discussion as to why it was possible for someone who isn't a high-ranking official to just walk out with sensitive information like Snowden did. The NSA has also replaced many of the storage and sorting programs used and created by Snowden. Although most people don't know this, there are security clearances above top secret, such as SCI, or Sensitive Compartmented Information, SAP, Special Access Programs, and CNWDI, Critical Nuclear Weapon Design Information. Some of the documents released by Snowden were of the SCI or SAP classification. The NSA and other government agencies are now trying to limit the amount of people with access to these clearances. In conclusion, the NSA is a highly classified agency that has access to anything and everything you do online. Edward Snowden saw a problem with this and decided things needed to change. And with that, I hope you heed my advice and be cautious with what you put online.